Today's lesson is on finding volume. And mostly what we're going to do is we're going to find volume of three-dimensional prisms, mostly rectangular. And then I'm going to show you triangular too. And then we're going to practice some. So before we find volume, the first thing we need to do is be able to find area. We need to realize area of an object of a rectangle is length times width. And the reason that is because this 3 means that there are 1, 2, 3, and this 3 means there are 1, 2, 3. Pretty basic stuff. So the area would be 9. If we can find the area, then we can find the volume when we make it three-dimensional. So when we look at this, area is two-dimensional. We look at how far it goes this way and how far it goes this way. Well, when we do volume, it's three-dimensional, and so we look at how deep it is too. So all we're going to do here, if we look at this area, it's 3 by 3, right? So there are 9 little squares here. Well, if it's 4 deep, all that means is that there are 4 layers. So the math problem to figure that out is just take the area. See this one, if we just do 3 by 3, that just means this first row right there. And so there's 9 there, but we also need to find 4 of them. So all we're going to do is take that. Oops. Times how deep it is, which is 4, to get the problem. So the reason again that helps you find volume is because you have this face which is 3 by 3. So each one of these layers is going to be 9, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. So it would be 4 layers times 9, which would give us 36. So all we have to do is we have to do length times width times height. So all we do is we find the 3 measurements and we multiply them together. Pretty simple. So we just have to take this one 3 times this one 3 times this one 4. Let's look at another example. So if we had a rectangular prism that was 4 by 2 by 5, all that means is that we have 4 wide here and 2 here, and all that means is that we're going to go 5 deep with it. So it's going to be split the same going back, and there's just going to be 5 rows of it. So there's 1 row, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all we're going to do here is we're just going to multiply 4 by 2 because that's what the face is, and then times 5 because that's how many layers there are. And then since we're multiplying all of them together, it doesn't matter what order we do. You could do 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 5 is 40. You could do 2 times 5 is 10, times 4 is 40. You could do 5 times 4 is 20, times 2 is 40. So any way you do that, that's how you solve that. Now the next one I'm going to show you is triangular prisms. This you're not going to be tested on, but I want you to know how to do this. So if we have a triangular prism, and it's 3 by 4 by 5. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what is the area of this face. So we need to use our triangle area formula. So we're going to take length times width divided by 2. Or we can split one of them in half. So we would do 3 times 4, which equals 12, and then 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. So we know that the area of this face is 6. Now, all we have to do is we know that it's 5 deep here. There's 5 layers of it. So all we're going to do is we're going to take that 6 and we're going to multiply it by 5 layers, which gives us our answer. So just like when you find, all you have to do is find the triangle and then find how deep it is and multiply it by that. So again, we're going to divide it by 2 since it's a triangle. So now I'm going to give you a practice problem. So here's a rectangular prism, and all you're going to do is find the volume. Go. Pause and solve. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find this face, which is 5 times 4, which is 20. Then we're going to take that 20. There are 11 layers of it going back. So we're going to take, holy cow, that is loud. We're going to take 20 times 11. So all we're going to do is this, and our answer is going to be 220. Now, the one thing I didn't add, let's say that's inches. The one thing I didn't show you is, you know, when we find the area of this, we would say it's 20 inches squared. Since we're finding volume, we're adding that, it's going to be 220 inches cubed to the third power. So that's all there is to it. Okay, 2 more practice problems. Okay, next problem. Find the the volume of this rectangular prism. Pause, solve. Okay, what we know is we're going to end up doing this problem right here, right? We multiply them all together. So now, another rule that we know is that when we multiply multiple numbers together and all we're doing is multiplication, it doesn't matter what order we go into. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 63 first. 7 times 9 is 63. And the reason I'm going to do that is because then I only have to deal with one decimal problem. If you did 7 times 1.5 first, that's fine. You're going to get the same answer if you do it right. But I just like avoiding decimals as much as possible. So then I'm going to have it down here. And we're going to do 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30. 32. 0. And so my answer is going to be, I didn't leave myself very much room. My answer is going to be, but there's one decimal, so it's 97.5. So that's my volume. And it would be units squared, or I'm sorry, units cubed. Since I didn't give you one, I'll make sure to give you one on the next one. That's all there is to it. Let's try one more. Okay, this last problem. And by the way, if you're in my class, I expect you to have shown all the work on all those problems before. And I'm going to check that next time I check your homework. So make sure you have that work here on this problem as well. Otherwise, I will assume you didn't watch the video and you owe me a recess. But make sure you have the work from all of those. So if you need to rewind and write down the work, do it. So on this problem, it says which has the biggest volume, A, B, or C. I want you to pause and solve. Okay, A, all we're going to do, 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 7 is 140. So the volume of this one is 140. B, we'll do 2 times 3, which is 6, and then we're going to do 6 times 9, which is 54. So the volume of this one is 54. Then we're going to do on the next one, we'll do 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times 11 is, this is a math fact, by the way. Hopefully, if you've gone all the way through reflex math, you'll be able to do this one. So this one would be 132. So the correct answer would be A is the biggest. So that's all we have for today. Make sure you've shown your work. If you need to go back and do it again, do it again. I'll see you tomorrow or another day, or if you're at another school, I'll never see you. But Mrs. Darby or Mr. Mather or someone else will see you. So have a good rest of your evening. Eat well. Maybe sneak off, eat a taco, maybe a burrito. Bye-bye.